This is really irritating me because this is a microcosm of a society where y'all will allow men to run rampant and do whatever they want to do and then turn around and blame women for giving him a chance. And I do not understand that. So for those who are unaware, AKAs are a sorority in the US. They got multiple chapters all over the country. In the South, they hired Trick Daddy to perform. I'm not a Trick Daddy fan. I don't listen to Trick Daddy music, but apparently he has some fairly explicit lyrics, especially sexualized lyrics. Okay, cool. I know hip hop. I know that there are other artists that also have sexualized lyrics. Megan's one of the artists that I've listened to who her lyrics are hypersexual. Okay, fine. So hypersexual lyrics in rap is not unusual, right? Cursing in rap is not unusual. Cool. The AKA's booked Trick Daddy. Apparently at the event, he started going into his more explicit lyrics and he didn't edit himself. He was saying something along the lines, if you want to get your something to eat or something like that. And a bunch of women basically got up and walked out. And a person who was putting the event on cut the microphone and, excused him from the stage. And that's what happened. And then they released a statement. And in the statement, they said, hey, we apologize. We did book this man. And we did require that he, we gave him a list of songs we wanted him to perform. And we wanted him to edit himself. And, they had certain requirements of him. And unfortunately, he just didn't abide by that agreement. And that's why the show got shut down. And that's all they said. Let's listen to what this man got to say.
Me. Get off my page, ho. Playing all them games. But let me explain something to you. The AKAs had a regional conference in Orlando, and they booked me to perform. Trick Daddy Dollars. Yeah, they booked me to perform. So in the comments, I want y'all to tell me, in the comments, I want to know, when it's time for Trick Daddy to perform at your event, what the fuck do you think he gonna perform? What do you think he gonna perform? So the girl name is Tiffany Moore something. Tiffany, the director, the Southeast Regional Director. You should have stayed off social media, put my name involved in there, because I heard you running for some type of office or something. I would get on your ass every day until you won't motherfucking win. Don't play with me.
I don't know why this man is so upset, because all they said was, we had an agreement, he didn't follow it, that's why we cut this thing short. But okay.
Don't play. That's right. So I'm performing for the AKAs, and yeah, I do jump on the D. That's one of my records. You should have known that when you booked me. But don't put out no statement talking about you told me what the motherfucker, you gave me a playlist. You can't give me no motherfucking playlist. This ain't your wedding. Fuck.
He's not saying that's not what we agreed to. He's not saying I never agreed to that. He's saying you can't tell me what to do. And you should have known that I was going to do this. That's what he's saying. And all the AKAs are saying is that we had stipulations and requirements. He didn't meet those requirements and we shut it down. That's it. And if they had stipulations and requirements, obviously she did her research into you and she knew who you was and she knew the types of songs that you were performing. That's why she gave you the goddamn stipulations. That's why she had a particular set track list that she wanted for you. And to be quite honest, everybody's like, you can't tell me what to do. Yes, the fuck they can, because they paid you, dog. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. Don't take their money. But if I pay you, then that's what's going to happen. And a lot of you have been like, well, why would they let Trick Daddy da-da-da-da-da? He's going to admit it eventually down the line. But even when you're watching the videos, you can see that there are women in the audience who are dancing to the song. So obviously, she understands her sorors, and she understands that a lot of them like Trick Daddy. But the thing is, they were likely in mixed company, because this is a fairly large, well-established sorority, and there are likely women who are much older who were in the audience, and maybe some who were younger who were in the audience. And I don't even know if they had kids there at the time, but maybe. So if we're in mixed company, I'm going to request that you do an edit. Again, he doesn't have to do the edit if he doesn't want to, but the way in which he turns that down is by saying, I'm not going to do this gig because that's not authentic to me. I can respect that. That's not an issue for me. I'm still trying to figure out, why did this man take their money if he already knew he wasn't going to do what he was going to do? And that's my issue with him. And that is my issue with y'all with trying to excuse his bullshit ass behavior. This man is 52 years old. At a certain point, why are you now about your business? I am tired of excusing men who want to do this type of weird thing where a woman sets up an agreement with him and then he just decides, well, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want to do. And then when that inevitably results in a clash, y'all want to sit up here and be like, well, you should have known that he was going to do that. Why do y'all not have any expectations for these men, particularly a 52-year-old man? I understand that this is about a music set and whatever, and it's not, for some of you, it's not that deep. But again, this is literally just a representation of this society as a whole, where y'all allow men to do whatever they want to do and then don't want to hold them accountable when they do messed up stuff. Because at the end of the day, they paid this man money. They had a contract and an agreement out. He got there, and instead of abiding by what he said he would do, he violated that. And he just did what he wanted to do. And instead of y'all going, all right, Trick, we understand that's who you are, dog, but you just should have showed up there. You want to be mad at the women because they gave the man a chance. Because why wouldn't you expect a man like Trick Daddy to do this type of stuff? Perhaps I wouldn't expect a man like Trick Daddy, despite his songs and despite his names, because we all listen to hip hop. Perhaps I don't expect that of them because, one, the nigga is 52 years old, and I would think that by this age, you would know better, and you would move better, and you would be better. Maybe that's my expectations. I'm sorry for having expectations of a 52-year-old man to be about his business. Apologies for that. But why do you not have expectations for that man? That's my real question. Y'all want to give this man an excuse to continue doing this goofy stuff. Why do y'all not have those expectations? Why do y'all always want to put the onus on the other people? In this case, the women, for even daring to want to enjoy a Trick Daddy song. And again, Trick Daddy is not the only dude in hip hop with explicit lyrics and sexualized content. Don't talk to me about a Trick Daddy song and say, oh, well, you should have known. I've listened to a variety of different artists. There are plenty of artists who have sexualized lyrics, who curse, who do all that stuff. And you know what? They do edits. They edit their fucking music. That's what they do. Anyway.
What's wrong with you? I ain't no shorty, I ain't no little ass boy. Anybody that was in there said did it and then was sanctified, they should not been in there once I grabbed that motherfucking mic.
A lot of them probably didn't even really know who you were. This was their first opportunity to listen to you. And instead of you thinking to yourself, oh, I might have an opportunity to get some women to enjoy my music, let me abide by my agreement, you decided to go in there and be a vulgar man. And all of this that he's doing is about shifting responsibility off of himself and onto them. Because for all of the talk about about what he is and what you should expect and all this other stuff, if I don't know what their contract states or what it doesn't state, all I know is he never once said during this entire exchange that that's not what we agreed to.
I ain't asked to be there, y'all, and I gave you, y'all motherfucker give me the rest of my motherfucking money.
They're likely not going to give you any of your money back. And like I said, if they have a contract out where they have these stipulations written down, you're not getting shit back. If anything, you're probably going to owe them money. And if I was him, because the public is already on his side, it would be in his best interest to just pay them their money quietly and let this go. But he probably won't. Because if they had a contract out and that was in the contract and you didn't abide by the contract, you better give them ladies their money back.
PSN, y'all motherfucker give me the rest of my money, because I gave y'all a discount. Because y'all came through some friends of mine and I gave y'all a half price show, and you get on the motherfucker, you wake up and get on the internet and feel like you got to do some micing and you got to explain to somebody about what went on. You turned my mic off, I felt disrespected, I left, I ain't planning on never going to no motherfucking social media, and now you done dirtied up my name. I got to clean my name. I gotta clear my name up. You trying to save face on, don't save face on me. Don't use me. Do not use me to save face. I ain't the motherfucking one. Don't play with me.
Ain't no saving face, dog. They simply said you had an agreement and you chose not to abide by the agreement. That's it. That's all that happened.
My mic up was very disrespectful, unprofessional. The only lady, and I don't know the lady's name. Do you know the lady name that made sure we were straight, that showed us? Tracy, I appreciate you. It was very, very professional. You made sure we were straight. You made sure everything. We had a situation where my performance time got pushed back almost an hour. I didn't say nothing. I gave you the real Trick Daddy. I gave you right what you paid for. And you bad enough, you cut my mic off and try to get on the stage and discredit me. But when I post these videos that was taken by my homegirl from the stage, and I show all the AKAs in the crowd, in the audience, loving the show, rapping it word for word, recording. When I take these videos of me taking hundreds of pictures after the show, you're going to look like a motherfucking fool.
She's not going to look like a fool. And this is, again, more evidence for those of you who are like, well, why would she get Trick Daddy? Obviously, there were women in that audience who are Trick Daddy fans. That's why she booked Trick Daddy. But again, we're in mixed company. So they requested some edits. They requested a particular track list. That's it. I don't think that's as unusual as y'all want to make it out to be. But it's like y'all have a desire to allow these degenerate ass men to continue their degenerate ass ways and their disrespectful ways. So y'all come up with all these excuses to try to blame the women in this case, instead of understanding he just didn't follow what the agreement was. That's all. That's it. So y'all like, well, why would she get Trick Daddy? That's why she booked Trick Daddy. Because there were enough women in that audience of a particular age who are Trick Daddy fans. And they're in the South. So he's a fairly well-recognized name in the South. That's why she booked him. But it's the same thing, right? If you got kids around, we're all millennials. So we like certain hip hop songs. But if we got kids around us, we're likely going to play the radio edit of that song. That is not abnormal. If we got kids around or older people or people who are, might be from this, like who are church related or whatever, even though we like certain hip hop songs, we're going to play the songs, but we're going to play the edit, right? We're not going to play the explicit version. That's a normal freaking thing. And it's so weird that y'all are just like not grasping this. Y'all want men like him to be able to get away with doing whatever he wants to do. And then y'all want to blame the women for hiring the man. And it's like, no, I don't understand this. I don't understand y'all's desire to not hold this man accountable for his behavior.
You gonna look like a motherfucking fool. And you talking about, you gave me a playlist. Okay, this ain't your motherfucking wedding. You can't tell me what the motherfucker's saying. You want me to perform Scarred. Half of them girls in there going after them.
Talking about, you gave me a playlist. This ain't your wedding. You can't tell me what to sing. Talking about, you want me to perform Scar or Start or whatever that song is. So my question is, did she give you a playlist or not? Because it sounds like she did. If she wanted you to perform a particular song and you decided to not perform that song, you're in violation, my guy. It sounds to me like Trick Daddy is validating everything that AKA said. We gave him a certain set list. We asked him to do some edits, and that's why we booked him. There are plenty of hip hop songs out here that you can have the edited version that will still play well and people will still be okay with it, but it also be digestible to the majority of people who are in the audience. So to sit here and say that you can't perform a Trick Daddy song and not have it be explicit, I find that to be bullcrap, but whatever. That's what y'all want to believe. There are more than enough hip-hop songs that meet that similar standard that we can do edits of that people will still enjoy. This is really annoying me because he's telling you they did have an agreement because she told him to perform a song, and he basically is telling y'all he didn't perform the song because half of the people in the audience, according to him, weren't old enough to even know the song or something he said.
Scar came out. They can't tell me what the motherfucker's saying. You want me to perform Scar. Half of them girls, they never was born after the Scar came out. They don't even know fucking Scar.
So because they don't know Scar, he made an audible and decided to scrap the song entirely. Man, you might as well go ahead and give them women their money back. They might just let you keep half the money, but you ain't getting the other half. I know that.
So what are we doing here? Stop playing with me, man. We supposed to win straight, Chef. You gonna let me turn?
Oh, my bad. I was doing that on my phone.
Hold on, let me get this. Chef, you know somebody this hoe putting out a post on me?
I ain't even know deep. I just got up.
And I ain't mean to call you no hoe. I ain't gonna be disrespectful.
But you've been disrespectful this entire time. You've been disrespectful the entire time. Because they're not lying on you. You're admitting to the fact that there was a set playlist. You just admitted that you scrapped one of the songs that she told you to play. Because she can't tell you what to perform. You just admitted to all the shit. Like, what are we talking about?
I'm gonna be disrespectful. I'm not gonna disrespect you like you disrespect me. I'm not gonna disrespect you like you disrespect me. But don't put out no post lying on me trying to save face. Man, when y'all listen, man, I spoke to an old nice old lady. She was in a wheelchair. They was from South Carolina. I was having a word with them right before I did sound check. And I was like, you're not gonna be in here tonight, is you? She was like, no, I'm gonna get out y'all way. Cause I can imagine what you finna say on the stage. And we laughed and we kicked it. And I explained to her what part of South Carolina was she from. And she said, she a real Southern lady. She sounded like a Geechee. You know how they from King Street, they from Charleston, how they got the little accent that's like a Caribbean accent. That's how she sounded. I was talking to the lady and she was very respectful. I was respectful to her, and her daughter, who was about my age, walked up and was like, Mama, you done met the real Trick Daddy. And we laughed and we joked about it. She said, I'm gonna be clean out of here way before you get on that stage. Anybody my age should do the same thing. You're exactly right, ma'am. You're exactly right. They should have took their old stuck-up, sedated ass on by their motherfucking business. Old miserable bitches who got offended. Fuck you. Now,
Why they gotta be old miserable bitches? Like, this is the stuff that I don't understand. Not everybody knows who you are, my guy. Not everybody knows who you are. Why are you so mad at these women for being upset that you violated the terms of the goddamn agreement that you set up? Because at no point in this 10-minute fucking rant, because we're at 7 minutes and 46 seconds, did he say that's not what we agreed to. If anything, he admits that she gave him a song to play and he called an audible and decided he wasn't going to do it. So why are you mad at these women? Because they didn't like some of your music? And this is the stuff I don't like. I don't like men like him who want to constantly shift focus away from themselves onto other people. And they do it in the most disrespectful manner. Why are you mad that there were some women who probably didn't know who you were, who heard you say what you said and got offended by it and walked up and left? Why are you mad at them? You can't be mad at them because you agreed to do it. You agreed to edit yourself before you took that money. And again, if you did not do that, show the contract. Maybe it's not in the contract. I don't know. I'm just saying, if somebody comes to you and says, hey, we want you to play this particular set of songs and we want to make sure that, you know, you're going to have edited versions of these songs when you show up. That tells me that you should already know that there are women, potentially people in that audience who aren't going to be amenable to all of the language that you're going to say. And again, if you don't want to do it, then don't take the money. But if you take the money, then you already know going in there. So why are you upset when they got up and walked out? Why are you mad at them? I do not get it.
Y'all want to be disrespectful to me. Y'all want to be disrespectful to me and think I ain't gonna say nothing back. Y'all got me fucked all the way up, man. Fuck is wrong with you? Then you book me, JT Money, and Uncle Luke.
Notice how I haven't been all over the social media in regards to this, but I ain't seen shit from Luke. We know Luke got some explicit lyrics in his stuff. I ain't seen nothing from Uncle Luke in regards to this. It seems like Luke got his money, did his performance, and left. You're the only one we're talking about. And the only reason we're talking about it is because you don't have self-control as a 52-year-old man, and you're not about your business. You still want to run around here like you're in your 20s. Not even in your 20s, like you're a teenager. Bruh, you are too old to do this stuff. And I'm not going to blame these women because, again, they're in the South. There are probably women who are around his age who like his music. There's nothing wrong with them wanting to listen to a Trick Daddy song. There's nothing wrong with them booking Trick Daddy for an event. And there's also nothing wrong with them asking for edits. There's nothing wrong with them making requests of a playlist. There's nothing wrong with any of this. My issue is, as the artist, if Trick Daddy felt a way about it, why did he not tell them no? Why is the onus always on these women when it comes to dealing with these ignorant ass men? Because we don't hear anything from Luke. Luke ain't said nothing. Luke said my name Bennett and I ain't in it. That's what Luke said. I'm not all over the blogs. So maybe Luke will give you an alternate perspective, but...
So what Luke gonna say, coochie? Instead of pop that pussy, he gonna say pop that coochie?
Probably. Probably, yeah, probably. Because it's slightly less offensive. It seems like the audience was mostly adult women, so they understand sex. And I think the edit is Pop That Coochie, if I'm not wrong. I think his edit is Pop That Coochie or something to that effect. I think Luke does have edits of his music. And you can still enjoy an Uncle Luke song without the explicit sexual content.
You gonna say pop that coochie shot? What the fuck do you think Luke finna do when he get on the stage?
Obviously not. Probably say Pop That Coochie because, again, I don't see Luke nowhere on these social medias. The only person we heard about was you. So they done had a couple different people down there, and the other two individuals don't have any issues with the AKAs because it looks like they agreed, they made the agreements, they signed the contracts, they did their job, and they went the fuck home. You're the only one we're talking about because you don't have any self-control. You are a 52-year-old man, and this is how you still behave. I can't, man. What's happening?
Make it make sense, man. Make it make motherfuckers say you booked Trick Daddy, JT Money, and Uncle Luke. We from Miami. Well, they is fucking in Miami.
They doing that everywhere. Like, what are we talking about?
Man, listen, man. I shouldn't even be explaining to nobody about no 90210 ho, but I had to clear that shit up about my name. Don't say nothing about my motherfucking name. And no was given to me, so I don't feel like I should have to get no. Don't mention my motherfucking name on no negativity.
They didn't mention your name in a negative light. They simply said you had an agreement and you didn't abide by it. And based off of your own comments, so far, everything you're saying is in alignment with what they said. Everything this man has said is in alignment with that. At no point did he say, that's not what I agreed to. I need y'all to keep listening to this man's words because he's telling y'all a whole bunch of stuff and he's not telling y'all the truth. And that's the other thing I don't like. Why do y'all not interrogate these motherfuckers the way they need to be interrogated? Y'all need to start interrogating these niggas the way they need to be interrogated. Because at what point did he say, that's not what we agreed to? Because I never heard it. And I'm trying to play the whole thing so y'all can see at no point did he say, that's not what I agreed to. Because that would be a contract dispute. That would be something you could take to court. But again, I don't think anything's going to happen. I think this whole thing is going to disappear quietly because this man doesn't have a leg to stand on. Because if he tries to, they're going to get their money back.
Don't mention my motherfucking name. What the fuck is wrong with you? Because, yeah, they know everybody that watched me perform over the last 10 years know that I say, don't mind, never mind the stomach, watch the dick. Well, y'all know I say that. Y'all know I say, chill that baby ain't mine. Everybody know that. Everybody know me and Chef Screen. If you get your pussy ate and put your hands up, you want to get that pussy sucked. Everybody know that. And everybody that's got a pussy like to get it sucked. Everybody that's got...
I don't know why him specifically saying that grosses me the fuck out. And it's something about that man's energy, and maybe it's just his face. The shit is off. I don't
got a pussy like to get that pussy sucked. Don't play with no real nigga, man. Fuck out of here. Ain't no clean version. For any future motherfucker that want to book me, ain't no clean version. I don't know about no motherfucking clean version.
All right, so then this is what I need you to do. I need you to tell every member on your team that if they make that request of you, to tell them no, we can't take it because he's not going to do it. That's what you need to do. Don't put the onus on the individual. Because again, y'all got to understand. Y'all can sit here and tell me all day, but it's a Trick Daddy song. We are all getting older. We are all in different types of environments now. We're not all in the club. We're not in the club. As we get older, things are going to change. And like I said, Trick Daddy obviously is a fairly well-known artist in the South. So people are probably going to want to hear his songs and hear his music. The same way they want to hear Uncle Luke track. But as we get older, because we're not all going to be necessarily in rooms with just adults, we might be in mixed company. We might have grandma with us. We might have people from the church. We might have a random white person. I don't know. The point is, as we get older, I don't think it's unreasonable for you to make edits to your music, especially if you want to be more appealing to a broader audience. And again, they're not saying that you can't perform. They're not saying that they don't like your songs. They're just going to ask you, hey, can you edit this? Can you not curse? Can you do this? Can you do that? And I don't think there's anything wrong with people making that request. Like, the issue isn't on the individuals who are booking Trick Daddy. The problem is with Trick Daddy. If Trick Daddy says, I don't want to perform songs, I want to do what I want to do when I show up and you should just accept me as I am perfectly cool with that. So from here on out, no point should any member of his team accept any booking that requests that they have a particular track list, a set list, or any edits. That's all I ask. Because we shouldn't hear anything from anybody else.